Nestled in the Himalayas, Bhutan is a small nation with a giant dilemma. It sits between two powerful neighbors, India and China. Both have conflicting territorial claims, putting Bhutan in a diplomatic tightrope walk. Bhutan has deep ties with India. India has been instrumental in Bhutan's development, providing economic and military aid. However, Bhutan also recognizes the importance of a stable relationship with China. In recent years, Bhutan has engaged in negotiations with China to resolve their border disputes. This demonstrates Bhutan's proactive approach to foreign policy. It aims to safeguard its sovereignty while avoiding conflict with either giant. Bhutan's balancing act is a delicate dance. It seeks to maintain its independence and cultural identity amidst competing geopolitical pressures. Understanding Bhutan's current position requires a look back at its history. Bhutan and India have shared a close relationship for centuries. This bond is based on cultural and religious ties, cemented by a friendship treaty in 1949. China, on the other hand, shares a long and disputed border with Bhutan. This border issue has been a source of tension for decades. The situation with Sikkim, annexed by India in 1975, adds another layer of complexity. China's growing assertiveness in the region has raised alarms in Bhutan. The Chinese construction of villages and infrastructure in disputed areas is seen as a tactic to solidify claims. This has understandably heightened Bhutan's security concerns and its reliance on India. Bhutan's history is a tapestry woven with threads of diplomacy, strategic concerns, and the constant need to protect its autonomy. China's actions along the Bhutanese border have become increasingly assertive. Construction of permanent structures, expansion of settlements, and military patrols in disputed areas are raising eyebrows in Bhutan and beyond. These actions are perceived as attempts to change the facts on the ground and pressure Bhutan. Bhutan, with its limited military capacity, has chosen a measured response. It has opted for diplomacy, engaging in regular border talks with China. These talks aim to find a peaceful resolution to the long-standing disputes. However, progress in these negotiations has been slow and overshadowed by China's continued actions. This raises questions about China's commitment to a peaceful settlement and its ultimate objectives in the region. Bhutan's response highlights its commitment to peace and dialogue. However, it also underscores the challenging position of a small state caught in the geopolitical crosshairs. Section 4. India's strategic imperative, Bhutan as a buffer state. India views Bhutan as a critical buffer state. Its security is intertwined with Bhutan's stability. The Siliguri Corridor, a narrow strip of land connecting India's northeast to the rest of the country, is of particular concern. China's growing presence near the Siliguri Corridor is viewed as a direct threat to India's territorial integrity. Any disruption in this region would have severe consequences for India's security and economic interests. India is committed to protecting Bhutan's sovereignty. This commitment is evident in its military and economic assistance to Bhutan. India's involvement, however, risks escalating tensions with China. The situation in Bhutan presents a strategic challenge for India. It must balance its commitment to Bhutan's security with the need to avoid a direct confrontation with China. Section 5. The powder keg potential flashpoints and the risk of war. The Bhutan-China border dispute is a powder keg in the Himalayas. Several flashpoints could ignite a conflict, with consequences reaching far beyond the region. The Doklam Plateau, where a 2017 standoff between Indian and Chinese troops took place, remains a potential flashpoint. Any miscalculation or provocation in this area could quickly spiral into a larger conflict. Another potential flashpoint is the strategically important Chumbi Valley. China's increasing military presence in this valley, which borders Bhutan, India and Sikkim, is a cause for concern. Any attempt by China to assert control over this valley could trigger a swift and decisive response from India. The risk of war cannot be ignored. The presence of nuclear-armed states in the region adds another layer of complexity and danger. The international community has a crucial role to play in diffusing this tension. It must urge both China and India to exercise restraint, engage in dialogue, and seek a peaceful resolution to the border dispute. The alternative, a war in the Himalayas,